Hey guys, have you heard about the Easy Balancer 2? It's been out for a while, but as I've been building some larger scale planes, I really wanted that ease of mind and be able to test the CG, even though I have the Zykoy scales. So I found this product, and if you're interested in it, let's go ahead, head over to the shop and take it out of the box, put it together for you, and tell you what it's all about. The neat thing about the Easy Balancer is that it is designed and made in America, so that's a great thing. And this is beefy. Even though it's not thick, it doesn't look huge, it's nice and sturdy. Made from aircraft grade aluminum that's powder coated, and the whole thing is cut with high pressure water cutters. So let's open up the box. Comes with, got a free pen with it and a black and white manual. I bought the extension kit, so it comes in the box there, but I wanted to show you these parts, how well it's packaged, and you're paying for this nice product, powder coated, looks great, and it is also packaged well. So here's that first arm, looking really nice, and let's go ahead and continue into the box. Next up, we have the hardware kit, and what I really like about this is that it's not just a huge bag filled with nuts, bolts, and washers. We'll get into that in a little bit, but let's pick out this other arm, and you can see how well it's packaged with that bubble wrap. Here are the actual cradles. We'll open those up here in a second. And then finally, in the back of the box are the 4 pieces for the base, the 2 main base pieces and the cross members. And again, these are very nicely made, very nicely powder coated, and you can see the time and care they took to wrap each piece with foam, so these things are protected very nicely in shipping, and you're going to have a beautiful product. So again, there are 4 pieces to the base. We have these 2 cross members that allow you to adjust the width of the scale, and then the 2 main static pieces of the base here. And again, each individually wrapped and very nicely packaged, so that powder coat finish looks wonderful. Let's open up the real magic, or the really coolest part of this scale, and these are the cradles. And these are slightly in a V shape, and this is what your plane is going to sit on. And you can see a little notch at the top of the V, and we'll get into that later. Let's open up this hardware package, and this has all the nuts, bolts, washers, and the little rubber guards for the bottom of the scale and for the cradles. So everything is included in here, and like I said, the hardware is split up into 3 bags, and each bag is for a specific step, and that's outlined in the manual, so there's no real guessing. I'm going to turn to that page in the manual there to show you which step is which bag, and you can easily see, obviously the one with the wing nuts is one set, the one with the shoulder bolts is another set, so very easily to see here. Really like this in the manual. Like I said earlier, I went ahead and just got the extension kit. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to need it, but it didn't hurt. I just went ahead and threw it in, but want to open this up. I'm not going to install it, but I wanted to show you how it comes packaged. That's one of the big reasons why I do these videos, is because we're pretty much not going to find this in too many hobby stores, and you're not going to have a chance to look at what this looks like in the box, how it's packaged, to see each part. So I'm filming this for you so you guys can see. So let's start with the arms, and one of the first steps it says to do is you're going to have to take that little red cover off of the pin. That comes off very easily, and then we'll go ahead and put the shoulder bolt through from the bottom. We'll put 2 washers over top the shoulder bolt, and then we'll go ahead and put the cradle with the V facing upwards, and you can see that makes that pin go into that larger hole in the bottom, which allows for that rotation, but it also stops the cradle. We'll go ahead and put one more washer on top and then tighten up this nylock nut. Now this might be the most complicated part of the build because you have to get this the perfect tension. Now what I'm doing here, I'm going to tighten it all the way and show you. If you tighten it too hard, then it's going to have no play in it, but you're going to actually have to force it, and you're not going to get a good CG scale on that. So there's a little bit of an art to this. You have to loosen it up just right. In fact, I'm going to loosen it too much here and show you what you don't want. And while you do have that free range of motion, there is some of that side-to-side wobble. You do not want any of that. And so those two washers are going to allow you to find the perfect tension to tighten that where you have the free range of motion, but no side-to-side wobble. And I lock it in right here, and I'll show you what that looks like. See, nice free range of motion, but no side-to-side wobble. So let's attach the base. It's pretty easy. It's 4 bolts, but we're going to start with the cross member, and you can actually make it even thinner by using the inside hole, but I'm going to use the outside hole for now. And we're going to put the hex bolt through and then a washer in between. This is where you're going to need your 7/16 wrench. Probably you need a 7/16 driver and a wrench, but just have those ready to go. We'll put a washer on the back and then a nut and tighten this down. Let's go ahead to the other side. And this is the adjustable side. So we're going to use the carriage bolts here. Again, push it through and then use the nylon washer in between the cross member and the base. We'll put that through, and then we're simply going to tighten that with the wing nut on the bottom, and we'll put a washer in there and then tighten it up with a wing nut. And obviously you can see it's a wing nut, so we are going to be adjusting this one. And again, this is what we'll be adjusting to adjust the overall width of the entire scale so it matches your model perfectly, and you can set the cradles right on the bottom of the wing exactly where you want. I'll have all of the dimensions down below in the comments with a bunch of other links, but also all of this information is on the EasyBalancer 2 website, and you can see the URL right there, www.easybalancer.com. So let's attach the arms, and we have 2 hex bolts on each side, and we're just going to put some washers on the inside and then tighten those up with the bolts. I believe these are lock washers, so because we're never going to take these arms off. I wanted to show assembly. I know some of you might be saying, well, that's 4 bolts. Why are you showing the assembly? The black and white version of the manual is a little bit hard to read, and even the color version with the shadows, the way they took the pictures, it was kind of hard to see how things are put together. So I just kind of wanted to take a few minutes and show you this. All right, the last step is going to be putting the rubber guards on the bottom of the base and on the cradle. And what's funny, these are really important because even in the manual it says, please, if you're ever going to use this like on a dining room table, definitely do not forget to put these rubber guards on it, because this, like I said, this thing's nice and heavy and it's going to scratch up your surface. So those rubber guards help really well. So here is the finished scale sitting on my workbench, all put together and sitting there. It's actually set at its widest part right now. And again, all of the height and the dimensions are going to be down in the comments below. And again, on the EasyBalancer website. So I'm going to show you me putting on my 84-inch Lavochkin La-7 from CY Model. Now, this plane is 24 pounds. It's weighed, it's ready to go. And yes, I do have the Zycoy scales, and I just wanted the peace of mind of a second tool, a second check, you know, measure twice, cut once, measure twice before you find the CG or something like that. It just made me feel better. And in fact, buying this helped me find a problem. I'll talk about that in another Zycoy video, but again, this is a 25-pound plane ready to go. You go ahead and set it up there, and this is assuming you have your CG marked somewhere on the bottom of the fuse or the wings with a line or a piece of tape. And so you set it down there and you have to kind of adjust both sides. The little notch on the top of the cradle, that's exactly where that line needs to go. A nice way for you to see that line that you've marked, and I'll have a close-up of mine later. But here we have it on the scale, and what you want to do is put it right at level and let it go, and there it is. It's nice and level. It's not falling forward, it's not falling backwards. And I'm actually going to move it forward and show you where that pin's going to hit. It's going to hit there. It's not going to, those cradles will not let the plane fall further than that. And I'll move it back and you'll see the pin hit, and it's not going to fall further back than that. So this is me doing this totally by myself. I'm not worried about this falling off, but again, let's put it back at level and you can see it's perfectly balanced. And now I know for fact the CG is where I want it. Let's get a close-up of those cradles just to show you that action of the pin. There's that larger hole at the bottom, and I'm going to move it forward, or actually it's going to be balanced right here. I'm letting it go. And then let's move it back, and you can see that pin is going to stop the cradle from moving. And then let's move it forward, and same thing. However, because of the angle of the shot, I know that the wing's about to cover this, but there it hits that point right there. So I think this scale is very valuable, especially when you have your large planes and you really need that physical evidence and doing CG without scales and math. And I know you can get a Vanessa rig, but if you're not in that, maybe you don't have a place to hang that, the Easy Balancer 2 works out great. And I hope you guys learned something from this video, and check out the site if you want to learn more about the Easy Balancer 2.